Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today as usual. Hope you guys are having yourselves an alright day today as usual. I know we don't have the greatest things going on in the world right now. It seems like the last few years we've been having to live through major historical events that are going to be in history books, which I think we might just be getting tired of living through major historical events, but that's a discussion for another time. So, you guys already know. I don't even really need to explain it, but, you know, Russia's invading Ukraine. I don't know why, because Russia has the most fucking land out of any country in the world. Maybe, you know, most of their land's, like, useless, but they still got most of the land of all of the world, dude. They take up, like, Europe and Asia. They fucking got, like, everything, man. But then, of course, it's never enough, is it? It's never enough. They gotta go for a little bit more. Not trying to get too political here, but what I don't want to see is, like, you know, Russia goes to Ukraine, and then it's like, okay, well, China's like, oh, well, fuck this, then I'm going to do it too. I want to invade as well. Now, I want to go to invade Taiwan and Hong Kong. Like, I just don't want a whole spiral of, you know, these big dog countries going after these little territories around them that they feel like is theirs, essentially, right? But honestly, I hope... I honestly, like, I know the situation's getting more serious, but I really hope at the end of the day this is kind of just media blowing things out of proportion. Like, I know there actually are people trying to evacuate Ukraine right now and get to the West. But I really hope at the end of the day this doesn't just spiral into some fucking huge world war, because we want fucking crypto to go up. Okay, look, at the end of the day, we want crypto to go up. We don't want human lives to be lost. Like, look, it's not good shit, right? So I really, like, I can never trust the media 100%, not even 50%, so I'm just kind of hoping all they're doing is just fear-mongering, blowing things out of proportion. Maybe things aren't as serious, but, again, I don't know, man. I'm not a, you know, upcoming war analyst. I don't fucking know, but basically, today we got some pretty big things going on with Swift and Russia. This is how it relates back to the XRP community. Guys, we make videos every day on the channel about just pretty much anything going on and how it ties back to the Ripple XRP ledger. So before we get into that, it's just some quick price analysis. I hit a little bit of a trade this morning. I just went from long here, closed there, went for like a quick 20 bucks, but anyway, that's why all those drawings are on the screen. So if you want to go to the weekly chart, guys, guess what we're going back down to? Hint, hint. The 60-cent iron wall where there is already a double bottom. So, again, I'm not like, dude, one fucking little war breaking out is not going to take XRP down to, you know, like sub 10 cents. I just don't think so. This is really, again, just confirming the double bottom with a second retest, and I think we're going to finally get that W over on the weekly charts because, guys, it's getting fucking interesting now. These global events is starting to tie all back into, you know, the traditional payment system, SWIFT, okay? Let's go ahead and get into it. So right here, I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but he is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine. Has a tweet that comes out 2 hours ago. I will not be diplomatic on this. Everyone who now doubts whether Russia should be banned from SWIFT has to understand that the blood of innocent Ukrainian men, women, and children will be on their hands too. Ban Russia from SWIFT. Bitcoin Magazine just in. UK Prime Minister is pushing very hard for Russia to be ejected from the SWIFT payment system. If you go to, like, the main Twitter trending page, one of the top things trending on Twitter, I don't know why it's not showing up, but I promise you before I started the video, Swift has about 270,000 tweets in the last 24 hours. Again, I promise you this thing was trending, but it's like, dude, everyone all of a sudden is talking about Swift. Like, it used to be only the XRP community gave a shit about Swift, but now with all these global events unfolding, now everyone's, like, talking about Swift all of a sudden. Like, I think, you know, before this little incident with Russia and Ukraine, I feel like people didn't even know what Swift was. Okay? This guy says, this is a little random tweet I just found. So, deplatforming Russia from SWIFT system feels like a responsibility tomorrow. This would mark the end of the USD global reserve currency era and kick off countless cascading externalities to the current system and incalculably accelerate the emerging crypto era. So, listen. And again, look, the world must act immediately. Future of Europe and world is at stake. To-do list, devastating sanctions on Russia now, including SWIFT. So look, here's the thing. I'm not saying like, oh my God, yay, Russia, who's doing bad things, oh, they can now use XRP. But at the end of the day, you are having friction. You are having political friction on a centralized payment system. Because now if they want to kick Russia off the SWIFT system, then what's next? They're going to kick China off the SWIFT system. Then anyone else, you know what I mean, right? Like, I'm not saying like, oh my God, woohoo, Russia gets kicked off SWIFT, uses XRP. But at the end of the day, this is proving that, again, SWIFT is an inefficient centralized system. If we're going to have payments, you know, for the whole world, it's got to be a neutral bridge. I mean, as sad as it is to say, it's got to be a neutral bridge no matter, you know, what people are doing in the world, man. It's just kind of the future, right? Because it's either have a neutral bridge that works in 4 seconds seamlessly with no transaction fee, or stick to using major gigantic banks and waiting weeks and weeks and weeks on end and paying hundreds of dollars for a single transaction. So this is kind of one of the flaws about SWIFT. Now you have this like political friction. It's not just like legitimate payment friction. This is like political friction now. So now they're going to start taking countries off the SWIFT system, you know, as they please. So it's quite fascinating to see today that you have just all of a sudden SWIFT blowing up on Twitter, and it seems like pretty much every country in the G7 is calling for the removal of Russia off of SWIFT. But the thing is, though, is Russia like knew this shit, though. Because what's Russia been doing for the last like year? What has China and Russia been doing for the last few years? They have been stacking gold like crazy. They kind of knew this was coming. I mean, the Russian ruble just hit a record low yesterday. I mean, I was on FaceTime with my friend, and the Russian ruble was at, you know, it's like 83 Russian rubles for $1. And then fucking 30 minutes later, it was all of a sudden 89 Russian rubles for $1. Like, their currency is crashing. I believe they knew all of this was coming. So they have been accumulating gold like crazy. And I would also imagine that it's entirely possible they have been also accumulating cryptocurrency because of the seamless transfer across borders. Again, I know this video could totally be taken the wrong way. I'm not saying, oh my God, wow, yay, Russia used crypto and they can, you know, fucking send money to, you know, buy fucking weapons. I'm not talking, like, that is not like what I'm trying to say here. It's just the pure fact that the world is going to naturally just transition into this highly liquid, highly like highly, not volatile, but you know what I mean? Like it's got currency with velocity. It can move so fucking quick through corners of the world. Now having these, you know, this political friction, you're like essentially forcing these big countries to transfer over into crypto. And I'm not saying, because again, I'm not trying to get fucking canceled or some shit and say the wrong thing. Again, I'm not saying like, oh my God, wow, yay, they use crypto, they can go buy fucking weapons and, you know, pay off people to, you know what I mean, right? It's just that naturally with global events taking place, it's forcing these bigger countries to use crypto, right? I mean, they're calling for a straight just ban Russia from SWIFT. It's gonna, you know, that means their whole fucking country, all of their people, they can't use SWIFT anymore. They're gonna have to move to something else. And honestly, the next thing, if China wants to go ahead and go for Taiwan or Hong Kong, which they've been wanting to do that for a while now, then it's going to be, oh, we're going to get rid of China off the SWIFT system. What's China going to do? Roll over into crypto, okay? Again, I gotta keep repeating myself because I want these comments being like, oh, Alex, you're fucking insensitive, oh, you piece of shit. No, I'm not saying, oh, wow, yay, China and Russia use crypto to buy weapons and, you know, fucking conduct global war. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a natural evolution that comes off of the political friction with SWIFT that's going to force these bigger countries to get into crypto and use crypto as a real tool for moving money, aka XRP. All right? So guys, thanks so much for seeing the video today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, check the links in the description if you do want to support the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.